Oh well, we can't see it yet because that's not the.
All right.
Do you want to switch?
Let's transition.
To that? Yeah.
Yeah, you see me? See it?
It's gonna take like 20 seconds for the live stream to get
Alright,
to it.
catch you up faster.
I have it on minimal lag because that means the recording's the best quality, or on the most lag because that means the recording's better.
Yeah.
And your connection's better because we do not have real-time interaction with our chat. So
Our chat is basically non-existent.
See my shirt?
It's I still haven't caught up yet. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh man, that is really
Have we ever had a comment other than telling us that
Isn't that crazy?
it's not working or something?
Yeah, that's the main purpose of our chat is to tell us that I fucked up the mics.
Yeah. Or tell us that you can't
You
hear
can
us.
always try going to Twitch and get those bits. See if anyone bits you.
They've got something like that on YouTube. Yeah, they do.
By the way,
In 100 years,
YouTube
when I
too.
eventually get a
Because YouTube is also Google.
I will cheer our channel.
All right,
Eventually.
let's just get things started here. Bam. 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 All right, no one's new.
I'm new.
Yeah. Announcements. Hayden, take it away.
New stuff on our website. So we finally got rid of Welcome to Jekyll, like the default blog post, and put up a real one.
Can you put that back up?
What?
Welcome to Jekyll.
No.
Oh, it was clever.
It wasn't clever. It was just it made us look like idiots. So here I can pull this up. Well, bam! Look at that. It's a blog post. It's got my little face on it. It's got a photo. Bam.
$1.9 million.
Yeah. A lot of freaking money. We already talked about that last week.
Photoshop job to put all of our members' faces in there.
Sorry?
We should do a really bad Photoshop job. Make sure all of our members' faces are in there.
That'd be pretty good. We've also got a new About page with people's photos on it. If your photo isn't here, then it should be. Or I just took it like 5 minutes ago, in the case of two of you. But yeah. So this is...
Josh should be sending his in.
Yeah, he should be. Greg Barker, it's not his fault that it's not here. It's Alex took his before, and it's not. It's the top of his head's cropped, so I can't use it.
R.I.P. Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also I've put together a giant guide on how to contribute. This is on how to crop your headshots, which is just send them to me and I'll crop them. I just wanted it documented. So. So yeah, we're hoping to have it so that each committee is like regularly posting blog posts. So like, I don't know, like we'll have like every time we do an outreach, we'll have a blog post, and every like 2 weeks or something, we'll have some of the other committees do blog posts or whatever. And I was just showing Corey how to put his stuff, his content from the weekly content in the meeting. So we're hoping to get a lot more going on the website. Yeah. Oh, I also now we got our pretty little tweets over here.
I saw that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go into every commit, but you get the point. We've done some cool stuff.
Change the font.
Huh?
Change some fonts.
I think the font is just different on Windows. Yeah, it's I haven't used a preloaded font. It's just got a big list of fonts that are probably installed on your system.
I think Comic Sans would look really good.
I am going to veto that. I'm going to.
Comic Sans is the best.
Did you see the thing? Did you see the thing that Chris had me put together during the executives meeting? He had me write a style sheet where everything is in Wingdings, but when you hover over something, it switches to Comic Sans.
Wow.
It was terrible. It was. I wish I had a demo of it ready on here, but it was the worst thing ever. It was.
We should get a button on our site just for that. Just switch all the
No, veto, thumbs down.
We should put that character that crashes Apple devices.
No. You guys have really bad suggestions. This is I'm taking none of them.
Well, it's their choice to come to our website.
All right, that's all I got. AJ, you can do the rest of it.
We got a new server rack in. Talked about that last week, but now we mounted things. On the bottom, you see, you get the bottom right there. We're gonna need a shit ton more power in that room to host all these servers, because I don't know what's the wattage on this Dell server.
Oh, we tested the amperage after plugging in those two things.
Not the amperage, the wattage.
I don't know the wattage.
Doesn't matter what the amperage is. The wattage, it's gonna be the biggest thing, because like I hope those aren't also 1500 watts.
Well, we're moving.
Oh, you know what? I can tell you right now. The bottom one, which is the nice one, is 750. The one on top is like 1100.
Because that might be the real reason they gave us 2 rooms.
Well, the other room should be for some servers too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just need to figure out what we're doing with that, and we need to make sure that that other room gets cleaned out for us. But we're still waiting on Professor Montjoy to do that because it's his like junk space. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's not a lab; it's a junk space. Man, I'm recorded on all of this. Not good. I liked it when we were off the air. So.
You can insult anyone you want.
Yeah, I know. I can say what I want. Now I have to be all PC.
Yeah, all those things you were saying, boy, man.
Yeah.
Some people
I'll have you
would
know
be
that Mr.
horrible.
Montjoy happens to be one of our very few.
Yeah, he's on right now.
I'll have you know that is not the proper way to talk about the president of UC.
Yeah. I wonder how many people have actually watched through a live
He's
stream.
actively stuffing more sweaters into his junk room.
Yeah, he's on his way here. But so we have a Towson University Cyber Club partnership that's in the works. I was put in contact with their El Presidente, which is a faculty member over there. So I don't think they're a student-run organization like we are. But I want to still reach out to them because they have apparently a lot of experience with setting up events and bringing in speakers. He reached out to me today and said, hey, I'd like to do a CTF between our 2 schools or some kind of collaboration. He says, we use Slack to communicate and everything. You guys should too. And I'm going to go back and be like, yeah, we use Slack too. So I don't know what we're going to do, but definitely they're going to be a good resource for us to reach out to and collaborate with. And maybe they can pass us over contacts of people that spoke to them who would speak to us, et cetera, et cetera. This is really cool. The CAECO NSA funding opportunity. So there's 2 different funding opportunities, but I don't think we're so much worried about the other one as we are this one, because this one's way cooler. They want to have students set up a cyber operations competition, and the initial funding that I saw was $125,000. And Franco is willing to help us out write the proposal and everything. So is Vicky Baker. And we already have the Rapids Lab, we got the equipment, we got the grants in already, and we got us. So I'm thinking we might be able to get $125,000 to do some awesome shit. So we might be able to really beef up some of those servers in there with new hard drives, whatever else we want to do, maybe. So think about this. Think about how we would design an operations competition. I mean, I think we could honestly put one on with our Rapids equipment we have right now. I mean, we just got to configure it. But yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be awesome to have on our resumes if we did this. And it also, if we win this and we get this, that's also more attention we get from the NSA. And the more attention we get from the NSA, the more of our Fourth Amendment rights are violated, and the more of our members can get access to maybe recruiters at the NSA and get cool jobs. So
Sold it.
yeah, sold it.
Who needs the 4th one anyway?
Yeah. Never mind that.
We got like 20
Privacy.
something of them, right? Like almost 30 now.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, too many. But
You can afford it.
so yeah, there we go. Definitely want to do that. I got to reach out to Franco, and if any of y'all want to help out with like emails, if any of y'all want to help me out with this Towson guy, please do, because I'm also emailing like 4 or 5 other people, and it's a lot of emails. So Corey, take it away.
Alright, so the first one, do you guys remember a few weeks back when I talked about how there was this exploit people were using where if they managed to get a malware onto a computer, they were able to transfer via sound information over between air-gapped computers?
Yeah.
Well, these guys decided to do something else cool with sound. Instead, they decided to crash computers, just flat out. They were relying on acoustic resonance in order to cause these false positives in the shock sensors on hard disk drives, which are meant to kind of like protect the drive whenever there's like external vibrations and stuff coming in, and it can just cause it to just park the head or whatever. I think that's the part that just like reads the data. It's traversing across the disk. I'm going to assume I'm right on that.
That's true.
When they cause these false positives in the shock sensor through this acoustic resonance, it just kind of parks it, and you're getting a BSOD, a blue screen of death, for anyone who may be on the live stream that doesn't know that. So they've tested this out a couple of times. They've used it on CCTV systems. They've used it on desktop computers. They've used it on just basically this whole suite of different hard drive brands and models. And it takes roughly 5 to 8 seconds of this sound happening, even if it's just through the computer's own internal speakers or just a nearby speaker. Yeah. So like... for example, if I just embed the sound to play whenever somebody accesses my website, and they go onto my website like, what's that sound? And then, boop, there goes their computer before they figured out what the fuck was going on. They just blue screened.
We're not putting this on the Cyber UC website.
We should have
I'm
a
making,
section.
I'm making a affirmative decision
If you
right
have a
now.
solid state.
What?
If you have a solid state.
This is,
Yeah.
I
Unless they
veto.
have shock
I veto.
Maybe you
I'm
embed
just-
something in
I had to
an
put a
efficient
stop to
email
that
so that it
before
plays
anyone
that
even
sound
said
every
it.
time they're booting up, and then boop, it's down.
I wonder if you could go into like a server farm, just bring like the megaphone.
Yeah, you're not just DDoSing their network. Now you're literally DDoSing people's hard drives. So a scary thought.
I mean, I don't know how firmware update can fix that though.
I guess just the way it reads the incoming sounds.
I mean, it's a physical piece of.
Well, yeah, no. But
There's
the
firmware on
underlying
hardware.
the
Yeah.
underlying behavior of how it figures out. Basically, they said that they
Yeah.
found a way to attempt to determine if there's some sort of intentional sound coming in order to attempt to create a false positive.
It sounds like it's not literally shocking the hard drive. It's just making the sensor think that the hard
Yeah,
drive
it's
is
making
shocked.
the sensor think that,
So
that
it
there's
really
some sort of
is a
vibration
software
happening
problem.
and it needs to stop,
Yeah.
or it needs to compensate for vibration that's not actually happening.
What surprises me, like if you update the firmware, wouldn't that like make the sensor less effective in doing what it's supposed to do?
In a very, very, very small case.
Yeah. I guess resonance would literally vibrate it, so
Yeah.
like,
If I
you're
had to guess-
you're not gonna stop the resonance from happening.
If I had to guess, they were making it so that it was they sort of like made it more sensitive than it needed to be, because like why would you not? What's the scenario? And then someone was like, here's a use case where you have to actually pay attention to your parameters, and they're like, oh well, we'll do it more cleanly now.
You just
Yeah.
play a different frequency.
Well, basically what they were trying to do was, they were basically just like, we're going to attempt to, we've written something that will attempt to determine if there's some sort of, if it seems like there's an intentional
If it's
attack
too
happening.
constant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Next one, ZipSlip. Found by a...
This is the most homosexual.
Yes. The
Whatever.
British software firm called Snick. I think I said that correctly. I hope so. They found this vulnerability that's affecting a whole lot of projects across a bunch of different programming languages like JavaScript, Python, C++, C#. All of them have, for the most part, they've all got libraries that have this vulnerability in it somewhere. Various different types of archive files. I was a little bit surprised not to see a basic zip file in there, but whatever. So there's basically just thousands of projects out there are currently vulnerable to this, which I thought it was funny. They gave a list of different projects that were vulnerable, and apparently OWASP has a couple of vulnerable projects. So I just thought that was kind of funny, seeing as we're an OWASP chapter and all.
Yes.
But what happens is it's, you know what? Actually, I'm just gonna.
You know what? I like OWASP.
Oh, I didn't actually add in my link.
Give
Oh
it
well.
Google. I mean, give it a DuckDuckGo.
No, I have not changed.
It does way better search results, especially for developing.
Mm. There we go.
The computer's own speakers are muted.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Vulnerability can lead to a remote code execution vulnerability. I'll be using the Java Goof application, a vulnerable demo app that you can clone and play with at github.com/snip/JavaGoof. It's a simple to-do list application written in Java using struts and Spring in the back end. I've already deployed this application into my Heroku Cloud instance, as you can see here. I'll go ahead and sign
Sounds like
in,
God's
and you can
talking to
see my to-do list is remarkably empty. From this front page, I can perform numerous tasks, such as creating new to-dos and uploading files. Let's first create a new to-do. The form requires a title, a date, and a priority. Let's go and have a look at the to-do class in the code. We can see that where we set the title on the domain object, we make an invocation to native to ASCII. This performs a call to the JVM script of the same name to convert any content into an ASCII format. This JVM tool will be the target of our exploit. As I'm so very British, let's start off by making some tea, and we can set a deadline of the ZipSlip disclosure date and a medium priority. Once created, we can see from the logs that the native to ASCII tool has been invoked. Now let's create another to-do. This time,
exploiting the
pi,
sanitization.
but our pi will be a non-ASCII character. Now straight away, you can see the ASCII representation of the pi character. And if we look to the logs, you'll see the native to ASCII tool being invoked, as well as the conversion which took place. Next, let's show you the upload and unzip functionality. The code behind this feature uses a popular Java library that performs the archive extraction on our behalf. We simply need to invoke the unpack method, passing in the archive and the target directory on our file system, which is the public directory in our application. From the website, I can see there are no files currently in the public directory, so we can go ahead and upload a new zip file. I'll select the zipslip.zip file from the file navigator, but before I upload, let me show you what's inside. We can see there's a good.txt file and also a file with a load of /entries that clearly has the intent of traversing outside of the application's public folder. This file will traverse up to the root directory and then try and overwrite the native to ASCII file in our JDK. Cheeky. The new native to ASCII file simply returns some text to show us that we've been attacked. Back to our application, we'll upload this file. We can straight away see the good.txt now exists in our public directory, but there's no sign of the native to ASCII file. So let's create a new to-do to see if our JVM files have indeed been overwritten. We'll create a new ZipSlip task. Et voila, the native to ASCII JVM tool has been overwritten by ZipSlip, and we're forced a remote code execution. Be sure to look through the research pages on the snick.io website.
So they have a zip file that is
Which has these directory traversal.
yeah.
Let's
the
fix this right now.
Hold on.
I'm hearing. Why is there an echo? Where is it coming from?
Because
Hello?
it's probably on OBS. We probably have this.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, just.
need
Yeah, let's just-
bring up Alt F4.
I'm not.
No, so they do a directory traversal, but how the
Through
fuck-
the name of a file within a zip archive.
within a zip archive, the name of that file is the directory traversal.
As best I can tell, yes.
Yeah, instead of the file being
and they are actually able to even overwrite file names and replace the contents of the files and stuff.
But the name of the file that
Like,
has the
just
traversal
zip files
is the
can-
code itself.
Zip files can hold files that are a zip file can have a folder in it, right? So you can have a file that's like foo/bar/baz.txt.
Yeah.
It names the file instead of it being something in that folder, it puts ..
Yeah, I got that. I'm confused as to how they actually execute.
It's just the zip
Wait,
libraries
well,
are
what's
actually
happening probably
respecting
is
that
the
path.
the zip library is taking in a file name, and it's just putting that in, and so it sees these .. slashes, and it actually directory traverses
It's
that way.
okay.
And so
So it's bad code on the part of the library.
Yeah.
The way they got remote code execution was by overwriting another executable.
Another
that they
executable, yeah.
commonly used executable.
So what they did is they just extracted that file to the location they knew that executable was at.
Yeah, they replaced the normal native to ASCII executable with one that echoes "Mwahaha gotcha."
They actually needed to know how many times to escape.
Yeah.
So they just went like a million times up. If you just
eventually
if
you
you
can't
keep
go
going
up
up beyond
Yeah.
root, like if you go up from root, you're still in root.
Yeah, you're still.
So you just if you're trying to directory traverse, you just go up a ton.
Yeah, so you go all the way to the top, and then I'm assuming.
And then you just go down
then
from
you
there
reach
because
the
the
sun.
library is going to be in the same spot it always would be.
Okay.
Probably.
So you go up a bunch and then fucking tip it in.
So yeah.
Hayden, go drink beer.
Will do.
Good.
So, anyways, that was ZipSlip. Shame Hayden had to leave because this would have been right up his alley. Drupalgeddon 2. Apparently, people just aren't patching. So what Drupalgeddon 2 was, it was an RCE remote code execution vulnerability that was discovered for Drupal late in March. I assume it's like a sequel version of an earlier vulnerability. What was happening is it's allowing unauthenticated remote attackers to execute just like some code or whatever code they wanted on these basic Drupal installations. So despite the fact that a patch came out, and because Drupal was the ones who found this vulnerability, or I guess someone working for Drupal, some sort of security firm, I guess, found the vulnerability. They found a patch, and then they released a proof of concept. And it took about 2 weeks before attackers actually started using this. And despite the fact that it's now June, a security researcher named Troy Mersch claims to have scanned the whole internet.
You can do that.
Which, I don't know, that seems a bit unreasonable for one person to have done.
We could totally do that.
The whole internet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just make some web crawlers. That's ways to do it.
And so he has found over 115,000 websites that have not been patched as of yet. And there are also websites that did patch, but they've only patched after they were already infected. And so what they're finding is that a lot of websites currently have these crypto miners on them, even though they've been updated to be secured. The attackers are still getting their crypto mining money from that. So if you happen to have a website that uses Drupal, I recommend you check. And my other recommended reading, GitHub has been bought out by Microsoft for about $7.5 billion. So good for them.
Wait, before you go on, you know who uses Drupal?
Hayden?
Every single website that the state of Ohio.
No. I could have sworn, I thought Drupal was sounded familiar. I could have sworn it was I could have sworn it was the OC3, what the OC3 used.
That's the OC3 website.
Yeah.
Yep, they all use Drupal.
Okay, yeah. So we might want to have Hayden let them know or something. So the next one, the new Apple Mac OS that they're coming out with eventually. I didn't bother to check when. It's going to be called Mojave. And apparently they're doing a lot of really cool security updates with things like taking the system and security updates out of the App Store and moving them into system preferences. They're adding end-to-end encryption for multi-person FaceTime up to 32 people. Different things. Location, obfuscation, and internet tracking obfuscation if you're using Safari. So
In Mojave?
in their next operating system, yeah.
Mojave.
Sure, you call it that. Krebs on security. A bunch of people who used MyHeritage. Apparently, it's like an Israeli company that does Ancestry.com, basically, from Israel. And apparently 92 million users had their data leaked. The company came out and they said, well, we don't think anyone else's data has been leaked. We don't have any evidence that says that, but they also weren't the ones that found out that they had 92 million users leaked. So
yeah,
if you know anyone who's got a username with them, they should have been notified already, but have them change their username and password, I guess. CrowdStrike is offering a breach warranty. So if you're buying a certain protection package from them and using certain tools of theirs, and you still get breached, you get $1 million, apparently.
Well,
or something along those lines, if you're
sounds
following
dumb.
their warranty.
Sounds stupid.
So basically, they're asserting a certain level of confidence. I imagine that there's plenty of
They probably define breach in a very weird way.
yeah, and they probably define breach differently, and they've probably got like all different things that you have to set things to a certain way, and you have to update a certain frequency and stuff like that. You know,
If you do
that's what
everything to prevent a breach, you get breached. $1 million.
Yeah. Although to be honest, they're probably charging so much for this service that they're like, okay, maybe you get breached once in a year. It's $1 million. We made like 20 off of you this year. Who cares?
Yeah.
So, We Live Security had an article about Europol. It's like
Europol.
Yeah, it's Europol. It's like Interpol, but for Europe specifically. They've set up like a cybersecurity team or whatever, a cyber operations team that's going to ideally work jointly with governments across the world in order to try and stop dark web crime. I wish them luck with that, but
They've been taking down a lot of sites.
yeah.
They've been doing.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's this team specifically because I think this is a new.
Interpol took down some.
Yeah.
But Interpol collaborated with.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of multi-country collaborative efforts going on, but this is just like kind of like the next one. So we'll see how well they do.
Clif.
All right.
So today we're going to be doing a quick Wireshark demo, and there's a link at the end for everyone who wants to participate. And yeah, so I'll just start going through the slides then. So Sniffers are it's a chapter in CEH guide, and it's a sniffer is anything that it's like software or hardware that's meant to capture and then either interact with or just analyze network traffic, and also USB traffic in the case of Wireshark. Some examples: Wireshark, Kismet, which Kismet is really nice. I just used it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. Ettercap, I think we went over that briefly for man-in-the-middle attacks. It's great for art poisoning. And Fiddler, which is excellent for analyzing what all your web browser is doing. Then, so Wireshark specifically, it's an industry standard. It's open source, runs on Windows and Linux. There's a certification, but I don't know anyone that's ever even tried to get it because it costs $300 to take the test, and it doesn't really raise your chance of getting a job, so no one seems to really want it. Wireshark is really easy to start using. You literally just open it up and you can start capturing on your network. It takes a really long time to get a hang of, but hopefully we'll be able to cover a couple things with that today. You can view raw packets and frames, but it's limited to the subnet that your computer is on. So if you try to capture on UC's Wi-Fi, you won't be able to because every single computer should be VLANed off. So that won't really work. And here's 2 URLs. If you want to download the files, go ahead, and I'm going to try to figure out how to get my laptop hooked up to this.
Do you have HDMI?
I do not. I have VGA.
Okay, yeah, that one. And then your... Do you not have VGA either?
No, I do. It's over here.
Okay.
I'm just blind. Alright.
Laptop should pop up soon.
And
And then HDMI, even though we're using VGA.
oh, great.
That's supposed to work.
Yeah, that's it.
Is it? Awesome.
Cool. So, did anyone get that link, or should we switch back?
Wait, that link? Here, it's on
Yeah.
the slides. I got it.
Alright. I'll go ahead and start then. So, Wireshark's interface is fairly simple. You can just hit this, let's move that over. There we go. So you can just go ahead and hit that shark fin up there, and it will start capturing. But for right now, we're just doing packet analysis because I won't really capture anything right from here. And let's see. Where is it? So we'll start out with that one. It's a pretty small capture. You can see all the different protocols that each packet is using. You can see that we've got some DNS requests here, and overall it's kind of just seems like it's way too much information, which is why Wireshark has a bunch of built-in stuff to help you parse it. So you can actually just find, let's say we want to go to a TCP stream, right-click and follow TCP stream. Now we can look at the ASCII interpretation of whatever was on that stream. And up at the top here,
We're going to want to open the Wireshark PCAP files, right?
Yeah.
Which one do we want to open?
This is capture 2.
Okay.
Let me know if I'm going too fast.
Yeah, let's make sure we can all follow along. Is everybody else got it?
Alright, well, I'll assume that you guys are somewhat caught up. So, the interface, this particular interface seems kind of messed up. Hold on, I'm going to switch over to the other version that I have that is a lot brighter.
Alright, so we're in.
There we go.
We all have that PCAP pull up. Pulling up.
Alright, that's better. Alright, so we can follow the TCP stream.
And do we follow any specific TCP stream?
You can actually, with Wireshark, you can just switch to whatever one you want with that little button down in the far right.
Yeah. For your demo, though.
No, you just start off with any one that you can find, and we'll work our way up. I believe it's the very last TCP stream is what we're looking for, actually. Well, here we can see that we just have a GET request, and yeah, it's fairly straightforward. And there's just, you can see all the different requests that I made during this interaction. So I'm kind of looking weird. And here's some XML files too that were sent back and forth. And here's, I think that's a request from a Roku.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
HTTP.
So that's the general idea. Pretty much Wireshark has a bunch of built-in tools.
Yeah, I just said, can we switch the screen?
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Oh, who's watching?
Ragu.
Maybe it's Dave.
What am I switching to? The
Well, on the actual OBS,
What are you trying to do? Are you
You
trying
wanna
to
go-
zoom back?
we want to go present laptop,
Bigger than the last one.
or
Yeah.
Corey, do you remember how to do this?
What exactly are you trying to do?
We need to get
this screen on the live stream.
Yeah. So I think
Oh, right, who's watching? That's awesome.
Hi, Ragoo.
Whoa.
CC on one.
I would think it was this one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's. I'll leave a link in our.
Yeah, he's the only one watching.
Yeah.
That is really weird.
Give that a like.
I don't know why it's not captured.
It's in the slide.
It's for some reason it still has Hayden's laptop background.
Yeah. So. You said there was a 20-second delay, right?
Yes, he did, but that doesn't change what we should see out here. Raw webcam is fine. God, turn that off. I don't want to hear myself. I don't know what. I think that's web address. Why is that? Okay.
Is that?
Or no, that's not what I want. Properties. No properties. Okay. So let's just look at this.
Hey.
There we go. I figured it out. We're good.
Okay, cool. So. Anyway. Here's that particular request that we made, and up at on the top of the window in this green bar, you can actually see the particular filter that was used to look at that stream. Which is there's a ridiculous number of filters. I can only get through like maybe 5 in a specific capture before I'm just completely lost. But there's let's see if we can actually take a look at those. Yeah, here we go. So the Wireshark supports a lot of different protocols, and each of these protocols usually has a bunch of filters related to it. So, I mean, yeah, that's just for Android debug bridge service. So,
Good old ADP.
yeah, that's way more than I can cover. But essentially, you can just search by whatever protocol you want, literally, because of all the filters. And this capture file is a little bit boring, so well, let me bring up the other one.
You can also do some stuff with Wireshark and Lua.
And Lua?
Yeah,
Okay.
To do what?
like scripts and stuff internally with Wireshark. It's like Python, but it came from C and C++.
I know like you can use Scapy to do a lot of what Wireshark can do, and what Nmap can do, and what Evercap can do. Scapy's just the fucking shit.
Why you gotta shit all over our tools, AJ?
Hmm?
Why you gotta shit all over everyone else's tools, AJ?
Shit on you.
And so here's the other capture. I believe it's Wireshark object, but .pcap.ng.
Next gen.
Next gen.
We got expensive bees.
So if you just click on export objects and then SMB, because we see that we have SMB traffic all over there,
That's file export objects.
you can actually just see all the files that I was transferring over my network at the time.
Animal hero giraffe.
Yes, there was a giraffe picture.
Yes.
Most important picture.
But the truth.gif is Truth, probably the most important one.
Yes, it's just memes.
Sure, it's not most important picture. AJ is most important.
I don't see. I hit export, but I'm not getting it.
Did you hit export SMB, or was it?
Yeah.
Which version of Wireshark are you on?
Shoot. I don't know.
SMB version 2 was just recently, or
I'm on Wireshark version 2.26.
I believe that that should be supported.
Oh, it's still searching for objects. Though.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. Oh, I don't know why it's not working for me. Does anyone can
Oh.
Which file are you on right now? You're on packet 2?
I am on Wireshark object.
Okay.
And Wireshark just crashed. So, either that or I accidentally hit the X. There we go. So, you can just recreate whatever the whatever was found with Wireshark, and say, I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing this, but where is
Can you extract that WMILM? Or okay, do the GIF.
yeah, let's do the
Yeah,
GIF.
you can actually get the objects out of these.
So
So
let's
like if there's a piece of malware that's transferred over like HTTP, you can actually get a copy of that malware.
Yeah, I've used
captured all the traffic.
I've used like command line to do it. Never repeating.
It's so much easier to do it though.
Yeah.
So, and here we have that GIF. And yeah, you can pretty much do that with anything that's transferred over SMB. SMB isn't encrypted at all, so yeah. More advanced Wireshark techniques involve actually just putting on a network where there's like audio streams, like say in a call center or something. You can just recreate those audio streams because they're UDP and UDP is unencrypted. So you can actually just listen to whatever was being said over VoIP, and no one can really stop you from sniffing on a network or it's difficult to, because it's really difficult to detect. So you can recreate streams like that, and forensic work with Wireshark is also is a thing. If you went to B-Sides Cincy, there were 3 different labs or 3 different forensic things, and all of them involved Wireshark.
Do we still have the packet captures for this?
We have one of the packet captures, but the other 2 are lost to time.
I think I might have the other 2.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, that is the demo for today. And let's see.
AJ's got to be so meta.
So what? So what? Meta?
Yeah.
Only command line tools, only snapping, no clapping,
Yeah.
no Google.
Fuck you. I ain't playing around.
Man, if they keep giving me free tools to use though, they can have all my information. I don't give a fuck what they do with it.
You're saying that's just to piss me off.
No.
Let's transition. There we
I
go.
also think that Zuckerberg
No!
did nothing wrong.
No!
Did you see their latest commercials? They're sound so hopeful.
Oh my gosh,
They're
yeah.
back.
We care about you and your privacy. Yeah, they care about the money they make. That's it. But yeah, so I'm gonna take it back around to the announcements. Just don't want to end all this. Oh, look at that. We're not projecting. And we will be. And then we'll wrap this up. Nice, short and sweet. Yeah, no, I definitely want some help brainstorming how we'd want to do this. And I also would love ideas on what we should talk to Towson about. And I would also love any help you guys would want to give me.
One thing, before we start talking about what sort of hardware we'd like for, we should probably figure out what the competition would be.
That's what I'm talking about. Not the hardware.
You should build your competition and then figure out what kind of hardware you need to feasibly do.
Exactly. So what are we doing for our competition is the real question. And Franco says he has some ideas. We need to get Franco and Vicky Baker into one of these meetings. Just sit down and talk. Or our lab. Or invite them to Sunday. Sunday dinner is always good. But yeah, with that, I don't really have too much else to add. I really just want to get things moving on there. We really need to get our crap together for the fall. Our crap's together, but when the fall hits, we need to really capitalize on all of those early events, like being out in quad, recruiting. I need to get an email for that again. I don't even know how I'm going to do that again. But that was huge for recruitment. We need to make another, threefold board, and hopefully this time I won't have to spend, $80 of my own money to make it. So this time we have that other money that UC's holding from us, but we will get it back. Cool. All right. Does anyone else have anything to say? Anything? All right. Well, let's end this meeting then. See you guys. Give me my shirt. It's cool. All right. I'm gonna